Thousands once lived here, but one day they were simply gone. No graves.
Travelers once passed here every day, but suddenly the road fell silent, as if an entire people disappeared at once. They left behind homes, tools, toys, everything but themselves, as if they vanished without a trace.
Far in the distance, a dust cloud rose, the first sign of the empire that would erase them. Where forgotten worlds rest in silence, we awaken their stories. Where their land once began, new mobs appeared. The Assyrian Empire was closing in. People sensed something coming, a silence in their voices, a fear in their eyes. For the first time in years, the watchtowers lit their fires. The danger was no longer distant.
Their arrival was felt before it was seen, the earth trembling under a power no tribe could oppose.
They marched with iron disciplines, a machine built to conquer, deport, and erase entire nations.
They had survived droughts, raids, and wars, but nothing prepared them for what marched toward their gates. With every strike, their strength faded, and hope slipped from the walls like sand. And with the first strike, the fate of the northern tribes began to crumble.
They were taken in chains, thousands walking toward lands they had never seen, with no promise of return. Their journey left no graves, no journals, no markers, only a road where history fell silent forever.
In the Assyrian archives, their trail simply stops. One missing tablet, one broken name. Their towns weren't burned, they were emptied. A disappearance without destruction.
Some believe they journeyed east, over harsh mountains, following exile routes deeper into foreign lands. Others say they crossed the deserts, leaving behind only scattered clues carried by wind and time.
Some traces appear deep in Persia, fragments of pottery, symbols, and traditions far from home.
In remote valleys, old inscriptions blend cultures, hints that the tribes merged into distant.
Some clues stretch as far as Central Asia, symbols and objects that shouldn't be here, yet somehow are.
Others kept stories of wanderers from the West, tales passed down for centuries, long after the exiles vanished. In Arabia, inscriptions appear with symbols from far-off Israel, hints that some exiles fled into the deep desert. Deep in the desert, ruins hold symbols they never learned locally, as if strangers carried memories into exile. In parts of Africa, some tribes keep customs, symbols, and songs unlike traditions they say came.
Some believe exiles boarded old trade ships, carried far beyond the maps of their age.
In a canyon far from Israel, inscriptions appear that nearly match Hebrew, but not perfectly, as if
Genetic studies reveal fragments of Near Eastern ancestry in places no historian expected, clues that deepen the mystery instead of solving it.
In busy crossroads, identities blended, customs merged, until the exiles became part of new nations. In some places, their names were removed on purpose, leaving only a blank space where an entire people once stood. In distant mountains, rituals appear that match Israelite customs, yet no one there remembers where they came from.
in forgotten dialects, lone words appear, words with no origin except echoes of an Israelite tongue. In hidden caves, symbols emerge that mirror Hebrew script, changed, twisted, yet undeniably linked.
Some historians believe the exiles vanished into powerful Eastern empires, their identity dissolving into far greater civilizations. Nomadic clans carried fragments of their culture for generations, unaware of the identity they were preserving. In far eastern mountains, symbols and blessings appear that mirror Israelite traditions, though no one remembers their origin.
Across distant rivers, old songs echo cadences found in Israelite harvest rituals.
They didn't vanish in one place. They scattered across deserts, mountains, and valleys until their identity dissolved like dust in the wind. Across continents, objects appear linked to Israel, but none belong fully. Fragments of a people without a home. Some identities survive even after their names fade, lingering in customs, symbols, and memories no one can fully explain.
Some memories aren't written in books. They're carried in songs, patterns, and habits, passed down long after their meaning is forgotten.
Across forgotten valleys, people keep ancient customs, yet none remember where those customs began.
They didn't remain whole. They didn't stay together. But pieces of them lived on, scattered across the world. Historians tried to fit the pieces together, but the clues formed no clear picture. A puzzle with fragments, but no edges.
Their trail spreads across continents, too scattered to be a migration, too connected to be coincidence.
What if the tribes didn't die, but scattered so widely that they survived as fragments inside many nations?
Their disappearance may not be a vanning, but a transformation. In distant records, echoes of their names survive, buried inside foreign words, changed yet recognizable.
In symbols carved on distant stones, their memory endures, shapes unchanged while entire cultures rose and fell.
Across distant lands, tiny genetic echoes appear, too faint to prove anything, yet too exact to ignore.
Bloodlines across continents share rare patterns, a silent testimony that the exiles may have lived on in unexpected places.
In forgotten festivals, rhythms and steps survive, echoes of a culture carried.
In distant shrines, prayers survive without context. Fragments.
Only when placed side by side do the clues reveal something new, a pattern too consistent to ignore. They did not survive in one land, but in many, scattered like fragments of a lost identity.
In one moment, the records break, a half-written line marking the place where history goes silent.
On a single night, entire archives burned, taking with them the last written traces of the lost tribes. After the exile, whole generations vanished from history, living lives no historian ever recorded. They lived, loved, grew, and died, but their names vanished. No scrolls, no stones, no memories survived.
Archaeologists find their footprints, but nothing else. No tools, no graves, no name for the people who walked here. They built homes, raised families, cooked meals, yet left no trace of where they came from. A life without a label. Roads stayed warm from travelers who left no trace, moving endlessly, yet leaving nothing behind but disturbed dust. Fields were planted and harvested, yet no home, no village, no name belonged to the workers who kept them alive.
Families traveled by night, leaving trails the wind erased, moving like shadows across forgotten lands.
Somewhere in the valleys, they crossed rivers unseen, leaving only ripples as proof they were ever there. Their path didn't lead to one place. It fractured into many, leaving no single trail to follow.
Old signal towers show fires lit in many directions, attempts to reconnect that faded into silence.
At some point, the trail simply fades, leaving nothing but silence where a nation once walked. Years passed, then decades, then an entire century vanished, with no record of who they became.
Yet across distant lands, fragments appear, pieces of a people scattered beyond recognition.
Like shattered glass, their identity broke into countless pieces, each carried by different hands.
They did not survive as one people, but their customs lived on in strangers who never knew their origin.
Across generations, memories survived in habits, songs, and symbols, carried by people who forgot the story behind them. The lost tribes did not die. They dissolved them into nations, tribes, and families across half the world.
Perhaps the greatest mystery is this: the tribes were never lost.